Oh, hey, come on in. Hello everybody, it's Katie here and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making teriyaki turkey meatballs and a quinoa crunch salad with peanut dressing. You guys are gonna be obsessed, and this is something you guys can actually meal prep. It's great for lunch, dinner, and the whole family will love it. So we're gonna get started, and because the quinoa kind of takes the longest time, we just wanna prep it and make the most out of our time and be efficient. So I just threw some cooked quinoa on a cooking sheet like this. I did a tiny bit of olive oil, and I'm just gonna pop that in the oven while we cook the rest. We are gonna get started on the turkey meatballs. I do wanna say, it takes a little bit of prep time with the quinoa crunch salad, but it is high protein. You will be obsessed. You can keep it in the refrigerator for days. High protein with the peanuts, the edamame, and the quinoa as well. So I'm gonna just put these ingredients to the side for a hot second. Now, I make turkey meatballs all the time. I make meatballs all the time with ground chicken. I do ground beef. I have an amazing ground beef recipe with Ritz crackers. So good, it's my mom's favorite. But we're actually gonna make these teriyaki style. So Asian style meatballs over here. I'm gonna set my teriyaki sauce aside because you won't need that until they are done. Now, another way to make them high protein, but also make sure that the meatballs stick together, is just putting in 1 egg. So I'm gonna take my ground turkey, it's a pound of ground turkey right there, and just tossing in an egg. And we want a little spice in these, so I'm just gonna do a little red pepper flakes, and garlic and onion powder. Now, you actually don't need that much seasoning in these, only because we're gonna douse them in teriyaki sauce. Now, can I tell you a fun fact? This bowl actually has a lot of meaning for me and my family. I love it, it's green, you can't miss it, but it was my great grandmother's. So my mom's grandma, you guys know what a great grandmother is, but she actually, I love this as my meatball bowl, because this is what she used to make her meatballs in. My mom said she had the best meatballs in the entire world, and obviously I did not get to meet her, and so I just kind of like using it because it just brings me back to my roots. All right, let's go on over to the stove and cook these meatballs on up. I'm gonna use this little scooper to make the meatballs. Yum! It's so easy to use an ice cream scooper. Also, it just doesn't matter what they look like. They're gonna still turn out delicious. Last one, perfect. Now, while those meatballs are cooking on up, by the way, I just like to kind of get them on medium heat, I would say on each side for around 3 to 4 minutes, and then I put them on low simmer to make sure they're all the way cooked through. But let's get started on this salad. It's absolutely delicious, and like I said, it's high in protein. So all you need is a little bit of this purple cabbage. I did pre-shred it just because it's easier. So I did 2 cups of that. Now, like I said, edamame, high in protein, so good for you. And then we're doing 1/2 cup green onion, 2 tablespoons of peanuts. You guys can feel free to crush them as well, but I kind of love the nice crunch. I have a little bit of cilantro in here. Now, for the carrots, what I love to do is I like to make them into ribbons and then chop them up. So this is a little bit time consuming, but guess what? We're still actually waiting on the quinoa to be nice and crisped up. So we have a little bit of time. So I'm just gonna shred these carrots and then chop them up. All right. Chop and toss them in. I love the colors that the salad has in it. Next step, let's make this yummy, delicious dressing. Also, you can make double of this and save it for anything else because it's so freaking good. Now, what I love to do is use a mason jar with the top so I can just shake it on up. Throw everything in here. So let's do it. We have a 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil, a teaspoon of rice wine vinegar, a tablespoon of sesame oil, a tablespoon of soy sauce. I'm just gonna do 1/2 tablespoon of honey, 1/2 of a lime squeezed. Then we're gonna do some fresh garlic. You guys can always do garlic powder, but I'm doing 2 cloves. I like it garlicky. And for the main character, 1.5 tablespoons of peanut butter. I'm gonna take that and shake it on up. Back on over to our meatball station now. We're going back and forth because I'm a huge nut about timing. So as soon as that quinoa is ready, we're gonna throw it in with the dressing. And also, why not make the most of your time and be efficient? So we're back to the meatballs over here. I'm just gonna turn this off. Come on in here and just see how delicious these look so far. Now you guys can actually just leave them as is. They're great to meal prep just like that. What I'm gonna do is just toss in some teriyaki sauce. Get them nice and covered in that. Delish. And then just a little bit more sesame seeds on top. And we just love greenery, so a little bit of cilantro. Absolutely spectacular. Look at that. Oh, it smells so good. This over rice too. All right, let's get that quinoa out finally. It's perfect. So nice and crispy. It just adds such an amazing texture in this salad. So last but not least in the salad, well, not the dressing. We're just gonna toss this all in. And lastly, the delicious dressing. Just wanna try a little bit. That is freaking phenomenal. That crunch, you hear that? We can make this into a meal, of course, right now, but I wanna show you how amazing it is for meal prep as well. This is the perfect thing to bring to lunch. Low carb, so freaking healthy. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a salad. Look at that, by the way, my goodness. Yum. This looks like you get it at a very nice, fancy restaurant or a salad shop for like $25. Here in LA, at least, it'd be like $25. I mean, these meatballs just look freaking perfect. 3 in each. I'm just gonna get a little bit of a sauce to put on top. Extra peanut sauce. And then my hardest thing about meal prep is honestly, if it's in the fridge, I'll just eat it. So we're gonna eat the meal prep that's for lunch tomorrow. No, that is 10 out of 10. Holy moly. Okay, that's worthy of a cookbook. Enough eating. Let's meal prep these. I love you guys. Hopefully you try this recipe and absolutely love it. Low carb, high protein, delicious flavor. I love you guys and I'll see you next week for Come On In.